At the end of the first part, Tim had a baby daughter. She is also the boss baby. By the way, part 1 link is in description. In this part, we'll use the real name of Tim's brother, who was the boss baby in the first part. His name is Ted. Now, let's look at Tim's family. Tim's wife is very nice. They have 2 daughters. One is older and the other is younger. The younger one is boss baby. She want to be like their uncle Ted because they are impressed by him. The younger daughter knew that her uncle was the boss baby when he was young. Now, she has a mission and goes to her father, Tim, and asking for help from his brother. She says, I know he was the boss baby before, and you helped him. Her father replies, forget about it. But she insists the boss baby records her father's voice and sends it as a voice message to her uncle, Ted, who used to be the boss baby. Now Ted is a regular person. After hearing the message, Ted comes to their home. Tim is happy to see him. Ted says, I got your voice message and came because you called me. But Tim replies, I know you're very busy. It must be something the kids want. So, the 3 of them, boss baby, Ted, and Tim, are in the kitchen. The boss baby wants to take them to the baby corporation. The boss baby gives them a magical pacifier. When they put it in their mouths, they instantly arrive at the baby corporation. Once there, Ted remembers that he came from this place too. The boss baby then tells Ted, come with me. I need to tell you something important. She explains that one of her teachers is behaving strangely. The teacher is working on a theory that says babies don't need parents and can take care of themselves now that they're older. Tim then recalls why his younger daughter doesn't show him much affection. Now, they all plan to stop her teacher. The boss baby tells them they need to keep an eye on the teacher. They wonder how they can become babies again since adults aren't allowed in the class. The boss baby says not to worry because there is magical milk that will turn them into babies for 48 hours or 2 days. After they drink the magical milk, they turn into babies and then return home. Tim secretly goes upstairs while hiding from his wife and daughter. In a hurry, he tells his wife, I'm going out with Ted. I'll be back in a few days. When Tim's wife sees a helicopter flying outside, she thinks Tim has left without telling her. Meanwhile, Tim and Ted are actually hiding upstairs. The boss baby tells her uncle and father, remember how we used to do things? We need to work hard like that to complete our mission. They plan to go to the younger boss baby's school in the morning. However, they wake up late and miss the bus. They hold on to a toy horse and ride it to school. Along the way, they accidentally break things and even attract the attention of the police, who start chasing them. The police don't realize that these are actually adults in disguise. Despite the chaos, they manage to reach the school. Tim and Ted then approach some kids and ask them to stay with them until 11:30, when they will meet again. Tim then heads to his daughter's class. When Tim arrives in his daughter's class, all the students start teasing him, saying, you're new here. Tim feels worried, but then his daughter offers him her seat, saying, since you're a new student, you can sit here. Tim is touched and happy to see that his daughter has a kind heart. The class starts, and the teacher is conducting an online lesson with advanced technology. The teacher asks questions, and Tim's younger daughter answers them well. Tim feels proud and happy about her performance. Meanwhile, Ted is stuck in a playroom with some babies. Since Tim isn't there to help him, Ted asks the babies if they can leave the room. However, the babies can't understand or help him. Ted realizes he'll need to find a way to help himself. Ted notices a small window above the door, but there are cameras watching it. He carefully covers each camera one by one. Then, using toys and other items, he builds a makeshift ladder. As Ted climbs the ladder and is almost out the window, the ladder breaks. Now Ted is stuck and needs to figure out how to get outside. Meanwhile, Tim checks the time and realizes it's 11:30 a.m., which is when he was supposed to meet Ted. He decides to go to the washroom, but discovers that the washroom is actually inside his daughter's classroom. Tim then starts causing some mischief in the classroom. He starts acting strangely, thinking it will get him kicked out of class. They do kick him out, but he ends up somewhere else. Meanwhile, Ted somehow ends up at the principal's office, thinking he will find Tim there. When Ted goes inside, he sees the teacher, who is making evil plans. The teacher sees Ted and welcomes him, saying, I've been waiting for you. I saw what you did on the camera. You're a smart baby. The teacher says, I know you come from a baby corporation. He then happily reveals that he is also a baby. He shows Ted a ladder in his costume that makes him look younger. Ted is pleased because he thinks he'll learn everything about the teacher now. There are some candies on the teacher's table, but the device in Ted's hand, which Boss Baby is using to listen, falls into the candy bowl. The teacher thinks it's candy and eats it, breaking the device. After that, Boss Baby can't hear anything. The teacher then tells Ted that there's a meeting he must attend. When Ted goes to the meeting place, many ninja babies arrive, holding different weapons. The ninja babies attack Ted with their weapons, so Ted starts running. The teacher shows up and saves him, then buys him ice cream. He takes Ted to a place where he has trained many babies and tells Ted that he's becoming famous because of it. Meanwhile, when Tim's wife comes to pick up his daughter, the girl tells her mom that there's a new student in their class and asks if he can come with them. Thinking he's just her daughter's friend, Tim's wife takes him home. Tim also pretends to be a new student. He tells the girl, "I saw that students tease you in class because they say you don't sing well. Is singing important to you?" The girl replies, "Yes, it is." The girl says, "My father knows everything, and I'm doing this to make him happy so he will be proud of me." Hearing this makes Tim happy, but then something strange happens that could put Tim in danger. At that moment, Tim's parents arrive, and they are now old. Tim's parents came to visit their granddaughter. Tim was wearing glasses, which he didn't wear as a child. Since his parents had weak eyesight, they didn't recognize him. Meanwhile, the baby teacher tells Ted, "My parents didn't like me. They were always strict, so I ran away. I'm making something that will free babies from their parents so they can live happily on the other side." Tim is helping his daughter with her singing. After teaching her, Tim leaves. He says, "My parents will be waiting for you." Outside, he looks through the window and sees his daughter singing beautifully, which makes him happy. Meanwhile, Ted is upset with Tim because when Ted needed help with the babies, Tim wasn't there. Boss Baby tries to calm Ted down, saying, "Let it go. Tim loves you so much." She shows Ted a letter Tim wrote when they were kids, saying, "Please come back. I love you so much. We will live like good brothers." Reading the letter, Ted's heart softens, but he says Tim's behavior is so childish. He never takes anything seriously. Boss Baby responds, "But you have to work together for this to succeed." Tim arrives, and Ted tells everyone about the teacher's plan. They agree to work together against him. There's an event at the school, so they go to it. Ted sets up something in the teacher's room, and Boss Baby has the control, meaning she can now control the teacher. The event begins, and the babies start performing. But then, a secret is revealed. The teacher has installed an app on all the parents' phones. He created it so that when parents take pictures of their babies, they turn into zombies. And that's exactly what happens. Whoever takes a picture of their baby turns into a zombie. The teacher did this so that the babies would run away from their parents after seeing them as zombies. Ted quickly sends a message to Boss Baby, telling her to stop the show so the parents can't take any more pictures. But Boss Baby says she can't because the system is backstage. They send a message to Tim, telling him to unplug the system to stop the show, but Tim doesn't do it. Tim didn't unplug the system because it was time for his daughter's performance. Angry, Ted goes backstage and pulls the plug himself, but it was a trap set by the teacher. As soon as the plug is pulled, the teacher and the ninja babies appear and capture Tim and Ted, tying them up. Meanwhile, Tim's younger daughter gives her performance on stage. It's a great performance, and everyone is amazed. When she finishes, she expects the audience to clap and cheer, but that doesn't happen. Her heart breaks, and she runs off the stage, crying. She didn't know that the audience was too busy taking pictures of her and had turned into zombies. Boss Baby notices that Ted and Tim are missing. She quickly goes to her younger sister and tells her everything. They immediately make a plan to search for Ted and Tim. Ted and Tim are stuck in the water and can't get out. But then a cute pony arrives and helps them out. Meanwhile, the ninja babies show up and attack. Luckily, the school students arrive and fight the ninja babies. Tim's daughters also come to the scene. The teacher arrives as well, and a big fight breaks out. During the chaos, Boss Baby puts on a costume that makes her look tall and young, pretending to be the teacher. She fights with the real teacher to stop him from bothering her younger sister. Tim's daughter is working to return the parents to normal. Meanwhile, Ted is now an adult again because the magic potions effect has worn off. Tim's daughter doesn't understand how they can fix everything. She remembers that when her father puts Mentos in Coke, it creates bubbles and erupts like a volcano. She uses this trick to destroy the teacher's system. As a result, the teacher grabs Boss Baby. Boss Baby, still wearing the teacher's costume, holds him and says, "You were pretending to be something you're not, but you're just a baby and don't know anything." Tim's younger daughter is about to fall, but Tim, now an adult, quickly saves her. Everyone comes down, and because the teacher's system is destroyed, all the parents return to normal and are reunited with their babies. Seeing how wonderful a family is, the teacher decides to go back to his own family. The movie ends with Ted returning to his family for Christmas, leaving his business behind. They have fun throwing snowballs at each other. The film concludes with the lesson of how important family is.